Hello, good morning, and welcome to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm your host, Devonne Cornelius, and thank you for joining me on the program for today, Friday, April 11th, 2025. This conversation is being carried live via our social media platforms, Facebook and YouTube, so you can check us out there for the latest, as well as on Channel 5, as ZIZ TV, Channel 5. When we open the phone lines, you may call us at 662-8674. That is 662-8674. Call us and lend your voice to the conversation at hand. Let me also greet those of you who are listening from other parts of the world, those of you who are perhaps in a different time zone. So good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are. And thank you so much for joining me in the program for today. I'd also like to send out birthday greetings to those of you who are celebrating today or during the course of the week. And remember those of you who are mourning the loss of a loved one. And I pray that you find comfort during this difficult time. I want to begin today's conversation speaking on some recently released videos or dashcam videos, of reckless driving in St. Kitts and Nevis. So yes, this conversation is happening via radio, and you won't be able to see those videos, but they are posted on the Facebook page of the St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service. So you would recall after we began experiencing, or you recall, I think it was last year, those spate of accidents. Almost every day or every week you heard there was this really bad accident. You would recall that accident that took place, was it in Halfway Tree? Yeah, it was down that Halfway Tree area. No, it wasn't Halfway Tree. It was close to Brimstone Hill with the bus. And I think
just also the Halfway Tree.
Yeah, so in that region. So with the
area.
Yes, New Guinea. So it with the bus and I think 5 people lost their lives. So after that, the government introduced a number of measures to assist with road safety and all of that. And one such measure was to encourage people to get dashcam videos or cameras to put on their dashboards. And for those persons who would be purchasing these items online, when you're bringing these dashcam or these cameras, you would get, I think, duty free or something like that. And so people have been taking advantage of this initiative proposed by the government, and they have since submitted footage to the email, which is roadsafety@gov.kn. So if you have a dashcam and you have any footage of reckless driving here in St. Kitts and Nevis, you are being encouraged to submit those videos to roadsafety@gov.kn. And so people began submitting their videos, and in those videos we're seeing where people are overtaking in corners. Overtaking in corners. Some of them are coming and driving on the sidewalk. Some are making turns where it clearly says you do not turn here, no left turn or no right turn. You're seeing where people are being blatant and deliberate in breaking the traffic laws. And so it kind of gives you an idea of why so many accidents are taking place. Because in some cases it is negligence. It is people just being, they have no regard for people's life, and apparently they have no regard for their own, right? But kudos to those people who captured these footage and submitted them to the committee or to the government, so that people can have an idea and people can see how reckless people are when they're driving on the roads. Every single day we continue to hear from people, especially the authorities, because they go to various media outlets to encourage our road users to exercise caution and the do's and the don'ts while you are operating an automobile. But apparently people seem not to care, because from looking at these videos, they just tell themselves, well, I don't have the patience to wait for you to turn, and so I am going to overtake. I don't care if I hit anybody. I'm just going to do what I have to do. In one of the videos, there's a man depicted or being shown on what appears to be a motorcycle, and I think this is over in the Frigate Bay area, and so he's driving behind of one of those coaster buses, and instead of waiting behind the coaster bus, he comes off of the road, goes onto the sidewalk, drives on the sidewalk area, and then cuts in front of the bus. And right before he does that, I think there's an entrance to go into a restaurant. So you don't know if the bus was going to turn to go into that restaurant, or if people were going to be using the sidewalk, or if people were going to be coming out of the restaurant. So there's so many things that could have happened there. Then I see this other video that down on, that's the Bay Road, right, by the Science Complex. Mm-hmm. So I think when you're coming from, yes, so you're coming from the post office side. And you're coming from the post office, going into Bird Rock. And there's a sign that says no right turn. To go into Port Zante. And I think at least two vehicles, at least two vehicles completely ignore. And these are not rentals. Yeah, the two vehicles in front are not rentals. So you know that these are, for the most part, local people. If it's a rental, maybe you could say it's some tourist or somebody who came from another island and they may not be familiar with our traffic laws, right? But these are private vehicles. Two of them gone into Port Zante, and clearly and obviously ignoring the sign that says no right turn. And so you're seeing where people are just, I call it willful and bad mind. I don't know what else to say. I don't know how better to describe it, but I call it willful and bad mind. And then when these accidents happen, you hear people say the government needs to do this to stop the accidents, and the government needs to do that to stop the accidents. But the truth is, the government has been implementing a number of measures in response to the increase or the apparent increase in these accidents. My thing is, it doesn't matter how many measures and policies and laws and whatever they pass. It is individual responsibility. It is you taking responsibility when you're driving. Don't go and drive your vehicle recklessly, and then when you get into an accident, you blame the traffic department or you blame the government. Man, take your time on the road. It is that simple. Yes, accidents do happen. Hence the reason why it is called an accident. Accidents do happen, and sometimes you are careful and something just comes out of nowhere and bam, you're in an accident. But I'm pretty sure if we are to do a study or some kind of research, the statistics, and I'm willing to bet the statistics would show that perhaps more than 50% or even 60% of the accidents that take place are because of the driver. Negligence. Tell themselves, man, I have time, so let me overtake here. Mm-hmm. Knowing fully well you are in a blind spot, but you don't care. You do not care. You're approaching a pedestrian crossing close to a school, so you know for a fact you're going to see children and their parents. A group of children will be traveling. You don't care, you're going to overtake. You know you're in an area where animals, not saying the animals are to be roaming the streets, but you know in that area, animals are going to be there. Whether it be sheep, goats, cows, man, take your time. Because you know better. But from looking at these videos, you can really tell that people just don't care. And they tell themselves, to hell with that, I can just do what I got to do. So in the video, it says in the statement from the government, it says, under the Amendment Act, video evidence deemed admissible by the court may lead to the conviction of traffic offenders. And in such cases, the court may order a reward of up to 5,000 EC dollars to be paid by the offender to the person who submitted the footage. I hope this is you, the offender, paying to the government and then the government paying to me because
I hear you. You're gonna get money now.
But not only that, let's be realistic, and I'm not encouraging it, but I like to be realistic. If you are the offender and I'm the person who captured the footage, I now put you in a position where you gotta go find $5,000 to pay the government. You're gonna have some kind of beef with me. You're gonna have some kind of beef with me. So it will be best that you, the offender, have absolutely no clue who submitted the video. I think in the best interest of safety and security, because you don't know the temperament of people, and that may be their last $5,000. Or they might have to take a loan to pay that $5,000 and you don't know their situation. I'm not making an excuse for them, but I am just trying to mitigation. You understand? Yes. So it would be best that GQ does not know it was me who submitted the video. Just pay your $5,000 and then I collect my check because you were negligent. And you weren't paying attention. So it says that the licensing authority commends the public for their prompt and responsible response. Citizens are encouraged to continue submitting video evidence of traffic offenses and to provide a brief description of the offense, along with the date, time, and location of the incident. That is very important. So the date, the time, and the location of the incident. But I believe in some cases, cameras usually capture the date and time if your settings are correct. So it will capture the date and time. Yeah. And you should just provide but if it does not, then you're encouraged to do that. Date, time, location, and a description. Those wishing to remain anonymous. Okay, so you could decide that you want somebody to know it was you who submitted that video. Those wishing to remain anonymous should indicate so in their email submission. If you know what, nobody know are you, or send the video, say so in the email. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. All submissions remain confidential and are managed under strict protocols. The licensing authority reaffirms its commitment to fostering a culture of accountability on the roads of St. Kitts and Nevis. This is what we've been calling for. We have been calling for the government to take firm and tough actions, and they have done that. We can't be vexed with them. We cannot be upset because people are taking videos of us driving recklessly and posting them on the internet. People need to see how reckless some of you drive on the road. Do better. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll continue the conversation here on The Edge.
Hey, guess what? It's Radio Market.
Call in and sell your merchandise. You can negotiate and negotiate, give away and trade.
We on radio, internet, and TV.
Like us, share us, and subscribe to
ZIZonline.com.
And remember, we don't sell nothing over $5,000. Join us every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock right here on ZIZ Radio. Call 465-6120, 465-1903, 662-8674, or 718-577-2916. ZIZ Radio, giving back to the people. as we celebrate the death and resurrection of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. The Faith Tabernacle Church of God presents Jesus on Trial, a soul-stirring play to be held at the Kuna Conference Center in Fort Lands on Sunday, 13th April at 6 o'clock in the evening. Pick up your tickets today from any member of the church family or call 665-0546 or 664-8405. Adults, $20. Children 5 to 13 years, $10. Go and be blessed.
Attention educators, the Caribbean Examinations Council's Professional Learning Institute is the platform for professional development across the region. Access free and paid courses on CXC's Professional Learning Institute to improve your skills. Earn micro-credentials and digital badges to elevate learning and teaching. CXC's Professional Learning Institute, preparing passionate people to make a difference. Visit pli.cxc.org for upcoming courses.
The views and opinions expressed by participants and callers during this program are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, or policies of ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation, its management, or sponsors. The station accepts no responsibility for statements made. Hello and welcome back to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. I'm Devonne Cornelius and thank you for joining the conversation for today. It's 11:24 and we are taking your calls at 662-8674. That's 662-8674. For those of you who are just tuning in, on the topic of the scores of dash cam videos of reckless driving in St. Kitts submitted and tickets and summonses to be issued. I think we have a caller. We'll take our first call for this morning. Hello, caller. Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. You're on the air.
That's a timely program, right? Because more cars on the street than how big the street them is. They need to go on the seawater to drive, right? And I have to thank the Lord for spare me life for today. For what I went through, somebody did knock me down to celebrate my birthday, right? Okay. Now I want to say something else. You staying with your topic, I can say something else.
Go ahead, caller. Go ahead and make your contribution.
Okay, no, I had to ask you. I don't want you to cut me off. In first labor time, they used to give their voters houses, house and land. The other party come and give too. Well, this last party give people land, and then they kept meeting, and come to the end. They're telling some of the people them, this land them was for people. That ain't good enough, they must done with it. Since it was for people, why they never hold the land? And now they're going to say, I'm give you a piece of land in the country, and the people them not from the country. That's not good enough. They must done with it. And the thing with the tree and this by the school, no minister supposed to go look on a tree. But if they hear people talking, go and see what's going on.
You know about the tree?
It's kind of the tree what they say hanging over by school and so.
Oh, did you see it?
If I see well. No, me ain't see it, but me have to see it. I hear people talking.
Oh, but you ain't see it though.
I saying they must go to see the tree.
Yeah, but I'm asking you, did you see the tree?
I don't have to see it, but I know it's got one of them be by the school going them challengers.
Okay.
Okay, see you. You know what? Me talk. See you.
You were on for at least a minute. How can you say you don't me not want to talk? Man, you don't do it too bad. I always let you talk. And then when you done, you say, me not let you talk, and I cut you off. All right, it's 11:26 and you're listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio, 96.1 FM. The phone lines are open. Call us at 662-8674. That's 662-8674. For those of you who are just joining the conversation, we are talking about the dash cam videos of reckless driving in St. Kitts and Nevis. And these submissions were received from across the island and captured a variety of infractions, including dangerous overtaking, red light violations, and driving without regard for traffic signs. Each video is being reviewed by the relevant authorities in accordance with the Vehicles and Road Traffic Amendment Act 2025. The statement reads that tickets and court summonses are currently being prepared for the registered owners of vehicles identified in the footage. Where necessary, further investigation is being conducted to verify details and ensure the integrity of the evidence. So I guess it's referring to those vehicles where they were unable to see the license plate number up front, but I think they have cameras in the other area, so they'll find those vehicles. Let's head back to the phone lines. We'll take this call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to hear your voice. I listen to the program. Big up yourself. I'm not calling in to big up Ronnie in advance. Happy birthday to Ronnie Rascal tomorrow. Big up Jupiter behind the queue. I listen to the program every day. Thank you.
All right, and thank you so much for your call, caller. Okay. Thank you so much for your contribution to the program. It's 11:29 and we're taking your calls at 662-8674. You are listening to The Edge for Friday, April 11th, 2025. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Hello, good morning. You're on the air.
Hello, good morning. Happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Money day. Don't hear this and the money today.
Yeah, bring some of the money for me.
You see where all the money spending left, right, and center.
Bring some of the money for me now. Huh? Bring some of the money for me.
Me, you gotta go and see what they're spending. Me, I don't know any right now.
Oh, Lord. How can I?
But look, I'm sure I don't run my business anymore, you know. I would have got some today if I were running my business, but I cool out a while. I don't know for the next 5-10 years I'll go back on it again. Look here. We're talking about the light them. The other night they had to Red Bones again. They nearly knocked me down there. Coming with no one light. I don't know what happened to them. Check out the vehicle in the day. That make I like how they're bringing up some stiff nothing now with them vehicle. Yes, you know, realize if they hit you, if you know you get to see the front number, you could have said to the back number was one something, nothing. They got to step down on these people. And I'm so sorry about the incident that happened last Friday. The gentleman is really plain, saying that he need help, and I don't think we should have reached to that. Because if I go over to St. Martin or Anguilla and then he get knocked down, so I believe they will look after me. And then they'll treat me after, tell me send back the money by ear, fax it back or something. We ain't going good with the part that sounds so bad. Since last Friday to the today make a week. Is somebody from our neighbors heard that we're coming down to fix the problem? But why when the CEO and the OC and the double and why? The man who run in the country now was a doctor. He ain't heard that the other day. With things going every day on the Devon. Think it's going. It's everything is fit to hard. Wow, Facebook, WhatsApp, YouTube, and the other one, again. TikTok. Why you want so nobody say that we sound too bad in the medical field, man? Long time used to go up the medical place and feel so relaxed. People are complaining, they go up there like 3, 4, 5 hours, they can't get on the mid-Devon. Me going just watch the vehicle down here while me walking and just pray that none of them hit me off me, throw me off me naga. Yeah, man, what do you think about that, Devon? That thing sound good for us, man.
Mm-hmm.
He man saying he had the money, but bear with him now. Nobody tell them like a lot of people else come and run off with money, and so they say they stiff up the now, we're going for the extra before you go. That was supposed to be done in place years ago that we could have done get the message long time. Too late, too little. We ain't going for the next thing again. I don't like Devon. When a minister government take up the country, why they don't continue what the last government who come out of power was doing? Taxpayers, nobody look at things, Devon we gonna bar blood soon, You know why? They say blood don't come out on the Jesus eye, but it don't come out of the eye too. Because I don't like it if I open my head going to 17 and I see your area never want a health center. Because the lady, the old one, ain't looking good. Finish it now, begin it, you finish it. There's a place down below the abattoir there. He say we're going to be a barrack for police. Unfinished, all that thing, the siblings coming up, rattling out them. Oh my gosh.
All right then, Connor. All right, thank you so much for your contribution to the program. So I've seen the video, which is currently circulating on social media, with a man. Well, I've heard. What I've seen is a video with a picture attached to it, with a man that was appeared to be involved in an accident and claiming that he's being denied medical care. I'm trying to find the video here so I can properly explain what it is. But at this time, the details surrounding the incident are really sketchy, and I have not independently verified the information, so I can't speak to it to say that in fact he is being denied care or he's receiving care, because I myself have not checked out the information. But as soon as I do, I'd be more than happy to come back and provide the details on that. Let's head back to the phone lines and we'll take this call. Hello, caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
What the lady says, Ronnie's birthday too? Hello?
Yes, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Asking your question, is Ronnie's birthday too?
I think it's tomorrow? Tomorrow. Hello?
Yes, said me.
Yes, tomorrow. Tomorrow is his birthday.
So I just want to big him up and tell him we are what we are. And I used to run him back in the yard.
All right, Carla, thank you for your contribution. 11:34, and you're listening to the Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. The caller made a comment there about the tree. There's just a lot of talk going on right now about some tree down. Is that Challenges? Challenges, okay. I don't think it's then. So that's down Challenges. I know the tree. I've seen the tree. That's close to Bloody Point. Okay. So there's this a lot of debate going on right now on social media about whether they should have cut down the tree or if they should have left the tree completely or trimmed the tree or whatever. I don't live in the area, so I don't know what the experience is like for people who live in the area. I don't operate a business in the area, so I don't know what the experience is like for people who do. But from the pictures that I saw before the tree was cut down, you could tell the tree was a hazard. The tree was a hazard. Whether the tree is historical or not, the tree was a hazard. If the tree had remained there and it had fallen somebody, then it would have been a different story. And the phone lines would have been ringing off the hook, and we would have been saying that they should have cut down the tree a long time, and look, the tree fall on somebody's child, because I think right there is a daycare center. Buses stop right there very frequently. So I understand those who are concerned about the historical aspect of it, but the tree, from my understanding and from the looks of it, was hazardous, and it was posing a challenge for people operating in the area. And so I don't think they just got up one morning and said, "Boy, let me go down the challenge and cut down a tree." Nobody does that. They had to have a valid reason to cut down this tree. And from what I saw before, this tree, it was in the way. It sounds harsh, but the tree was in the way. And they did that in the best interest of public safety. Now, to leave the tree there, and then it becomes more hazardous. I don't see an issue with it. I don't see an issue with it. Let's have back to the phone lines. Caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Mr. Cornelius.
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Let's weigh in on this tree situation. Because I'm going to be honest. I'm getting fed up that we keep cutting down all these trees. If we don't cut down the tree, the tree still could fall on somebody. Because the big roots still there. We got to stop cutting down these trees. Mr. Cornelius, trees is healthy. We need to stop just chopping down the trees and think if you're doing this all the time. When we're cutting down mango tree foolishly. When you go in and big places, they're not chopping down trees. They're trimming the trees, then sun it out. They're butchering the trees. You got to be serious. And I keep saying it every day. We keep saying we saw hurricane up, pour up while building and all everything we're talking about. But yet we're doing the same one thing, but we're doing a different thing. Look at how you do the tree. Man, they're going to do better than that. Because the tree was a safety to take up the whole tree. So you're still in the you're still in the ground, in the wood. Because some people take it on themselves, you look at nobody got a control. Are they chop down a tree? Just because they chop down the mango tree, you put the mango tree right down.
But Carla, I think we can all agree. And I think we're all on the same page when we say that we know that, trees are important to the environment and we know the role of the tree. However, I take the point that you've made. However, I maintain that if a tree is in a position where it poses a significant risk to life and perhaps property, but life, then measures must be taken.
Well,
and if it means to cut it down or trim it, then so be it.
Hear what I'm saying. What I'm saying. If you're saying the tree could fall on somebody, let's agree. But you move it out the roots, so the position it's in, it could still fall on somebody.
But the impact could be less because...
Yeah, but you see the side of that there? You see the side of the part where they leave back there? That's all I'm saying. I'm saying sometimes what we're saying don't make no sense. Just like that, they got some bench down in town. You chop down all the trees. You got on, I'm saying not only down in town, we got mango trees we putting down. We just chopping down 2 trees. We got to think and decide on what we're doing when it comes to the trees. We accepting, I can't keep constantly accepting foolishness. Look at all of that. And yet again, we're trying to defend. I'm saying there's time when you're going to cut down the tree, and you're right. If the tree is a hazard to people, I understand. But some of the trees we chopping on Mr. Cornelius is absolutely nothing to people. Somebody take it on themselves and just say, let's cut down the tree. You remember OTA built a hotel some years ago? You see them chop down the tree was inside OTA, they built around the tree. If you're going to talk about OTA, they built around a tree in OTA some years ago. I think the tree's still there. In England, there was a tree on the cricket field. They chop it down. They leave it there. Some wind come and knock it down. But I'm saying, we got to start to use it, especially when these trees take so much a year to grow. They got in the cemetery, they chop down the tree them in the cemetery. But who the tree in danger in the cemetery? I'm saying nothing wrong with you cutting on the trees, Mr. Cornelius. We're on the same thing. But again, we must be thinking on what tree and how we cutting on the tree. Not just go on cutting on the tree, really. It's becoming, and I keep saying to us, I concerned about the children's future. Just like the plastic bag. Because almost 20 years now, when I the best man, they will tell you, I one of the only man hardly take plastic bag. Because I keep saying down the road, these plastic bags can become a problem. You can remember years ago, this water empty itself in front of Bastille, right in front of the market. Remember that? Exactly. But yet some people still trying to make it a political issue. I don't care. Since Unity time, since Douglas time, we should put a ban on these plastic. You know, we drop the ball, when we stop the sodas in the bottle.
Well,
nobody pay attention then.
Even with the plastic, I've said this privately, I will say it publicly. Some of us are behaving as though it is the end of the world because we've banned plastic.
But hold on. Dr. Do never said, the government didn't, whoever said, that you must pay for a bag. All you got to do, go downtown and buy a nice bag. So when you go shopping, you walk with it. It's simple.
You could put your groceries in your little backpack.
Nice. We're making the most stupid guys in body personally. But when we were supposed to enrage, so when they tell us take a vaccine, we sit down camp, some of us take the vaccine easy like Sunday morning. And today we're arguing about plastic bags. What gonna help our children future? Mr. Cornelius, it's not about us.
Right.
So what about the selfish in this country? What about the children, the Joshua, the Natisha, the other kids to come up? This is what the life is supposed to be coming up with all this plastic and everything happening. When we had a chance to change and do better for us and our country. And it's two things. We got to stop chopping the cheese. The plastic bag to me is not a problem. We should have done with it 20 years ago. Because sometimes we go to the supermarket, we buy one little simple thing, we want a plastic bag.
And we put it in the plastic bag in the supermarket, and we reach out, we take it and we try it away.
Brother, you have a good morning, yeah?
All right, you too. And thank you so much for your contribution. Man, I totally understand, as it relates to the trees. We understand and we can agree on the importance of the trees in terms of the role that they play in our environment. But if it poses a significant risk to life and the property, then measures must be taken to address it. But I agree with you, Carla, when you say we shouldn't just be going around cutting down trees just like that. I don't support that. Let's head back to the phone lines. Carla, you're on the air. Good morning.
Good day, Mr. Cornelius. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. And you?
Good. I'm not bad. Thanks for asking. I am very well. I like the idea of one having their choice and opinion and issues such as discussion of trees and everything else. I like that. But I don't have a problem with them cutting the tree down. Like you and others said, if it becomes a hazard, if it's going to be detrimental to one life, get rid of it. We have a decade there. In fact, we're going to only remember what is historical and heritage about it. An old, very old mahogany tree. No longer we can be able to show anybody on tour what it looks like, how old it is, and how long it's been there. It becomes somewhat significant to the village. But we're going to lose it like a lot of other things we lost. Some lost, unfortunately, some lost for the prevention of life and security. Safety is first and foremost. However, I drove across Kim Collins Highway almost every day, and I see something that I believe it might be that I can speak about. I spoke up a long time ago. A space, evidently they're now putting pillars there. And it's a venue. We have seen Coney Island been there. It is a good venue to use for carnival. Parade should be on F.T. Williams Highway. Take the traffic and congestion out of the city of Pasadena, the capital. Take it out. Let it be like a parade, like Macy's Day Parade along that F.T. Williams Highway, and you do judging on that space. Like it is, I believe they are making preparations for music festival. I hope they can finish before that time. We all do things very well in St. Kitts, but we take a little too long to do it, and we start too late, and sometimes we find ourselves hustling to get it done for a date that we have in mind it should be done, could have been done a long time ago. But I thank you for listening, Mr. Cornelius. Those are just what I have to say I see based on my observation. I'm glad to talk about it. You take care, sir. Have a good day. Goodbye.
You too, and thank you so much for your contribution to the program. You're listening to The Edge and ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. Let's take a break and we'll be right back.
As we celebrate the death and resurrection of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, the Faith Tabernacle Church of God presents Jesus on Trial, a soul-stirring play to be held at the Kuna Conference Center in Fort Lands on Sunday, 13th April at 6 o'clock in the evening. Pick up your tickets today from any member of the church family or call 665-0546 or 664-8405. Adults, $20. Children 5 to 13 years, $10. Go and be blessed.
Hey, guess what? It's Radio Market.
Call in and sell your merchandise. You can negotiate and negotiate, give and trade.
We on radio, internet, and TV.
Like us, share us, and subscribe to
ZIZonline.com.
And remember, we don't sell nothing over $5,000. Join us every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock right here on ZIZ Radio. Call 465-6120, 465-1903, 662-8674, or 718-577-2916. ZIZ Radio, giving back to the people.
Attention educators, the Caribbean Examinations Council's Professional Learning Institute is the platform for professional development across the region. Access free and paid courses on CXC's Professional Learning Institute to improve your skills. Earn micro-credentials and digital badges to elevate learning and teaching. CXC's Professional Learning Institute, preparing passionate people to make a difference. Visit pli.cxc.org for upcoming courses.
The views and opinions expressed by participants and callers during this program are solely their own and do not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, or policies of ZIZ Broadcasting Corporation, its management, or sponsors. The station accepts no responsibility for statements made. Welcome back to the Edge and ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. Quite a few things that we've discussed this morning. The dashcam footage of reckless driving here in St. Kitts that we've seen, and plastic bags, the cutting down of the tree. Really good conversations and good points, strong points that is made by the callers. My thing with the plastic ban, we're not accustomed to it, obviously. It is something new. And with anything new, it is natural for there to be resistance. It is natural for us to ask questions and be like, bye, may know about this thing. But my thing is, 6 months down the road, maybe 3, maybe 4, or maybe a month, we might not even realize that there was a plastic ban. But in terms of this plastic ban, we're behind, because there are other countries in the Caribbean that that have already banned plastic bags in their first phase. And just to provide some clarity, because whenever we talk about the plastic ban, people keep saying, but look, you have plastic button, look, you have a plastic phone case. It is being done in phases. So the first phase is to ban the plastic bags, those t-shirt bags. That's the first phase. So when they talked about banning of plastic, it is not an outright ban. It is not something that you could ban outright, like done with plastic today. It is being done in phases, and it is being targeted at those plastics that are easy to end up in places that it ought not to end up, in the ecosystem and the coral reef and, all of these different places that would affect the environment. But I maintain, yes, it's something that we're going to have to adjust to. It's not the end of the world. You see, in the Caribbean, I know 99.99% of households in St. Kitts and Nevis, we have some old bag put on home somewhere. Some old school bag, some bag that we used when we went to New York or when we went Miami. Man, take up the bag, wash it out and carry it rams when you're going to buy your stuff them. It's just something for us to adjust to. It's not the end of the world. You understand? It is not the end of the world. It is something new. I understand. Because when I went to the grocery store the other day and I realized that they weren't giving plastic, I'm going to be honest, I felt that kind of way. I'm like, why have a plastic bag, But I'm getting accustomed to it. Did I die because I didn't get a plastic bag? No, I'm still here. So, man, let's try our best to adjust to it. I don't see it as us taking 100 steps backward, because we're here speaking out against this plastic ban, but we are going to the countries that have banned the plastic bags. And when we go to these countries that have banned the plastic bags, we buy a load of things and we put them in these same reusable bags.
We buy from cash and carry
every day we buy from cash. So it's, for me, a lot of it is your mind. You got cash and carry and they don't get a plastic bag.
Never did.
But that was a culture. I can't even call it. This is a culture shock. It was a shock for me when I bought from cash and carry for the first time a few years ago and they didn't give me a plastic bag. I said, what is this? But my thing is, we're going to get accustomed to it. I don't see the need for us to have all of this energy. There are things in St. Kitts and Nevis that we should be talking about rather than plastic bag. It's really not the end of the world. And with the tree, I totally understand. We can all agree. And we know what the importance of the trees are. And I don't, for one, support us going around just cutting down trees. But I maintain that if the tree is posing a significant risk to life, most importantly, and property, which affects life, cut it down. We'll take our final call for the morning. Caller, you're on the air. Good morning.
Hello, I'm listening to you on the radio, but how they ban the plastic bag them, right? When we go to the supermarket and some people buy a lot of things, they pack all the things them in the bag. So when you're going out the door, the bag could bust and all the things them come out and the supermarket them don't make the money. So some of them not strong, some of the bags them not strong where they must sell. And even we walk with bag and we go out there, everything, if we get a slide, everything mash up. Because everything packed in the same bag and the bag heavy.
Yeah.
A good program, I just come in the door. Take care, safe, Tony. Enjoy your weekend.
All right, thank you so much. And you have a wonderful weekend. I understand. The first time, this was a few years back when they were trying the No Plastic Fridays, I think, and No Plastic Mondays. I went to Rams in Nevis with one of them big Rams reusable bags. One bag I went to do a big shopping. And when I come out of Rams and I was walking, going home because I live close by, the bag bus. But the bag bus and everything drop out there on the ground.
Let me jump in there with you, Devon. Now, you see, this is where, as you said, it takes a while to work out, or to get a customer something. When you used to get a plastic bag, you would never get all of them in one plastic bag. So why you want to put everything in one bag? Get 2 or 3 bags, put the cold stuff in one, the dry stuff in the other, the bread and so in the next one, and you got 3 bags.
Yeah, but
now why you want to go to the supermarket with 1 bag now? And when you used to come up with 10 bags.
10 bags. So, but I've
do the math.
Man, I've done it, so I understand what you're saying, but going forward, if you're accustomed to going to the grocery store with 1 bag, man, walk with 3 more or 4 more. 1 bag ain't gonna cut it. It is going to bust.
$3 for a bag. You buy 3 bags. You keep them in your vehicle, or you walk with them if you're walking. And when you go home, you take them out, nice them up, fold them up. When you're hitting the road again, you hit the road.
And just a quick tip.
Of course, now and then he might catch you.
A quick
when
tip.
You ain't got them back.
If you're buying, so some people might probably still have, so you have those cloth bags, and then you have those that are lined with this kind of material that even if something leaks out in it, it doesn't seep into the cloth. So perhaps you can use those bags for like the chicken and the
wet
meat
stuff,
and them kind of stuff there. And the cloth bag you could use for the dry goods and so on. But man, in the end of the world, we're going to be all right.
No one bag thing. Get yourself at least 3 bags and get one for the detergent too. You know, you don't want to mix them up. Remember how the girl used to pack you, nice and smooth, don't put the detergent with the bread and, you know what I mean? Make everything nice and good.
It's just that we don't have the plastic anymore. We have the cloth bags or whatever. So don't expect to go and buy 1 bag or 2 bags. Buy a couple bags, have them put down, wash them out every now and then, and we're gonna be all right. We're not experiencing a hurricane or some natural disaster or whatever. We are going to be fine. It is not the end of the world. It is 11:57 and you've been listening to The Edge here on ZIZ Radio 96.1 FM. Until next time, you guys, stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. And please, I'm begging you guys. I'm begging you. Every day I come here and I tell all to take it easy on the road. And then when I come back, I hear some kind of accident. Maybe they weren't listening. But please, do what you can to encourage someone to take it easy on the road. The texting and the driving. You're driving and your phone in your hand and you're texting away and you're drinking and driving. Man, now you stop it. You're not helping. You're not doing any good. But take care. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy your Sunday. Rest yourself. Y'all have a good one.